Hey everyone, welcome to our June Masterminds call. We are going to talk, this is our last week of digging in with IPA and growing your network and just really digging into how to do that in a more effective way. My name is Christy Jex. I'm a Diamond Ambassador. That's the first time I've ever said that. Woo! That is crazy. Gosh, guys, I got the gallery view. Is that okay? It drives me nuts when I can't see people's faces. So hopefully this works. I can't. It just doesn't work for me to look at myself. Okay, you guys, I am so excited to share some ideas with you. The beautiful Emily Gibson is also going to share some amazing ideas with you. And we have some really fun topics that are actually really simple. And that's what lights me up the most, is the things that really are simple and the things that are just like concrete and never change. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So just to finish off this series, I know we've talked a little bit about this in the weeks past, but I want to just share with you a few ideas on how to grow your network, how to make the most of your network, and really just how to be a good person so that your business grows as a result of that. So, okay, we talked about this a little bit on our call last night, but I want to just take you back to this because, you know, with me, it always goes back to mindset because that's where my heart goes, and that's what really does make the difference. Of course, you have to take action. Absolutely. Remember, it's mindset, action, mindset, action, mindset, action. It's not mindset, mindset, mindset. No. Mindset, action. It's the dance, remember? And then we start going mindset, action, mindset, action, mindset, action. Like, that's what it is, right, Cassie? I love it. It's not just mindset and it's not just action. It's both, right? So with this, I want to just go back to kind of what we talked about last night. If you weren't on the call last night, that's okay. What we were talking about is that visual of how you get a really clear visual of your exceptional life. If you haven't done that yet, I want you to take a couple of notes on that. Just kind of open that up in your heart and just ask that question of, what if what I really wanted to happen with Plexus, what if it actually happened? What does that look like for you? It will be different for everyone. I knew that we were going to be a diamond team. I just knew it. I had that quiet assurance that I just knew it. It didn't matter what obstacles came my way. I knew that at some point, our team would be a diamond team. Our family, the word I've always used, and Emily's heard this for 3 years, is seasoned diamond. Seasoned diamond. I didn't necessarily want to break records with speed, but I knew I had this very calm and strong assurance that we would be a diamond family. And I want you to create that for yourself. Maybe you already have a part of that, but I want you to open that up in your heart. Ask that question. What would my experience look like if I could have the experience that I want? What is my heart longing for? What do I want to create with this opportunity? And maybe it's ruby for you. That's great if that's your goal. Maybe it's senior gold. Maybe it's emerald. Maybe it's sapphire. Please don't do sapphire because it either needs to be emerald or diamond. You can do sapphire if you want, but sapphire is like you're crowning a baby named Diamond. Nobody wants to be crowning a baby. Like, push that baby out, right? Okay, I'm just kidding. You can just follow your heart on that. Whatever you feel is right. That's the right answer. But I'm telling you this for a reason, okay? Because Emily will get into more of like the tactical, like what to say, and I'm going to talk about that too. But this is important, you guys. Get clear on what you want to create. And then get clear on what that will feel like. What emotions will you feel? I want you to write this down. And I want you to put like a nice clean piece of paper. So I have notebooks like this galore. This is my brain and my heart and plexus. Get a clean piece of paper and write at the top like whatever it is that you want to create. And then just let your heart and your dreams go. Like start to write those things down. What emotions will you feel? What kind of things will change in your family, in your home? What food will you eat? What will change in your marriage? What clothes are you going to wear? Where are you going to shop? What do your days look like? What things are you doing in your days? What things are you not doing in your days when you've achieved this goal? What is it doing for the people around you? What kind of people are being influenced by you doing that? Okay, so you're going to just get all that and just let your heart go, write it all down. So the reason I'm telling you this is once you have that, it changes the way that you engage with your IPA and with growing your network. You go from maybe being a little bit like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, like, I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna send the messages and we'll see what I get. You go from kind of mechanical on the surface, going through the motions, to truly reaching out to people and saying, I have an opportunity that's gonna change your life. Here's where I'm going. You are so solid in your vision of where you're going that people start to feel it. You guys, it's all about the energy. It's about your personal energy, and it's about the vibe that you're putting out. When you have this crystal clear vision, guess how you're going to approach people? You're going to be genuine. You are going to care about other people and say, this is where I'm going, whether you say that with those exact words or just with the way that you say it. But you know, with that quiet assurance underneath everything, you know that you'll end up there. No matter who says no, no matter who says yes, you will get there. And you're going to change a whole lot of lives along the way. And that's the best part. But you're going to create that, right? So when you have that vision, and it's what I call the exceptional version of yourself. And we talked about this last night. So when you have that vision, for me, I knew seasoned diamond. I'm not there yet. I'm a diamond. I'm not a seasoned diamond. I still have work to do. It's not over. We're just getting started, guys. Like, I feel like I got my degree, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's time to like do surgery, right? Like, I've been working for 3 years to get a degree, and now I'm just a baby. I'm just getting started. So that's how I see it, and it's just a never-ending process. But now I know that I'm going to be a seasoned diamond. So when you have that vision, you can ask yourself every single day, like Nacho Libre, every day. You've got to be kidding me. All of the things that you just said is my favorite thing to do every day. That's what he says. If you don't know Nacho Libre, we can't really be friends yet. Go watch it and then you'll laugh your head off. Okay, so the bottom line is when you have that crystal clear vision, you guys, and you have that quiet assurance and you're peaceful about it, you're not panicked, you're not like, oh my gosh, I got to make these people do this with me or else I'm not going to get there. And no. Nobody wants to be a part of that. You got to have that quiet assurance with that peace that maybe is underneath the storm. There's storms, they brew, but you've got that quiet assurance that you know you'll get there every single day when you're doing your IPA and you're reaching out to people and you're just being. Do you hear me? You're outside of your house and your neighbor walks by, you're being you. You're asking yourself that version, that exceptional version of Phyllis that I see so clearly, what would she do right now? How would she treat her neighbors? How would she treat that person that tried plexus and then got their money back after 45 days? How would that exceptional version of me engage right now in this situation? You guys, it's everything. And once you really grasp this, you're going to feel so much peace because there is no struggle when you know, I'll get there. The right people are going to come to me. I'm going to engage in a way that is going to attract people to me, right? So when you have that, here's how you're going to engage. And we talked a little bit about this last night. When you sit down to do your IPA, you're not just going to send a quick message and then go, whoo, okay, I did that. Oh, that was hard, but that's all I do. Like, you just send out a message and then say that you've done your IPA. Some days that's what it looks like, but I'll tell you what IPA looks like some days. I remember I was at a point, I was probably like Emerald or something, talking to Emily, and she was like, Christy, she knows me well. And she was like, you got to get out from behind your freaking computer, girl. You need to get out in the world and go talk to some people. And she's like, no, really, like, you need to schedule lunch dates with people. It doesn't matter if they're a prospect. You're not doing this with a laser focused on certainty, right? I'm going to have lunch with that prospect, and then they're going to sign up, and then they're going to do this for me in my business. Like, that's not it. It's about showing up as that exceptional version of yourself, building and strengthening relationships inside and outside of your business, because that creates an energy of attracting people to you, right? So sometimes your IPA is sending messages and following up. Sometimes your IPA is you go to the mall and you say, for 2 hours, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to try to connect with people purely because I love people and I like to collect best friends. That's what I always, my in-laws are always making fun of me. Daddy Jax is like, Christy, you have more best friends than anyone I've ever known. I'm like, leave me alone. I collect them, okay? I love people, right? Most days. And until a certain time of day, and then we need to shut it all down, right? It's okay. I'm an extroverted introvert. We get it. So the bottom line is, you guys, when you're out and about and you decide, I'm going to take today to create some new connections. It's a big world out there. If you are feeling stuck in your IPA, it's time to get your cute little booty out of your house and out from behind your phone or your computer. Go meet some people. That's what growing your network means. You're making new connections. I have a lot of people that I've enrolled in the last few months that I had no idea who they were a few months ago, right? Sometimes they sign up right away. Sometimes you relationship build and they get to know you and they trust you because you're being a good person, right? Because you're reaching out and you care about people inside and outside of your business. And in the middle of that, there are people that are not in and they're not out. They're right in that middle. You're nice to them too, right? I remember telling people on my team, when someone orders with you and you have the conversation about, now listen, it's going to take at least 90 days for you to get an idea of what these products can do for you. Are we good on that? If you are committed to that, then let's do this. If not, let's wait until you're more committed. Like, I honestly have that conversation with people, and guess what happens? I still get those messages at day 45 that say, I just think this isn't for me. It's not working. I'm going to get my money back. I still get those, right? Because we can't control people. How do you treat those people? That's the question. It is important that you maintain being an unconditionally loving, good person to all the people. Whether they can benefit you, I hate that word, but whether they are in your business or whether they are not in your business or they ride the line between in and out. Here's the thing. I've had a couple of people, a lot of people that have gotten their money back, and I had that conversation. Remember that conversation we had about 90 days? That's still here. I know you can get those results with those 3 things that you wanted to improve, but it's going to require you to be patient with the process. Are you in? No, I'm not in. Okay, here's the number. Go ahead and take care of that. I'm always here. The door is always open. If you ever want to give it a real try, I'm here. Guess how many people have come back around? I'm enrolling someone today who had that exact scenario. But hear me on this. It is not because I just talked to them about plexus nonstop. It is not because I have a needy energy about, I need them to come back. No. Do you know why? It's because I have let go of that and I treat them like a real valuable person, and I talk to them about non-plexus things, and I have that energy, that quiet assurance that I will reach my goals and that the right people are going to come into my life. Some people are going to come in and out of my business, and that's okay. So can you see how that foundation of having that quiet assurance, having a crystal clear vision of where you're going, having a crystal clear vision of what that exceptional version of you does every day. Does that exceptional version of you, Cassie, try to get out of doing your IPA and avoid it? No, right? Does that exceptional version of you beat yourself up and say, oh, I didn't do my messaging today because it was a busy family day? No. That exceptional version of you is consistent and shows up, and when you don't show up, you show up again. You don't sit there and say, oh, all is lost. It's been 2 days since I've done my IPA. It's okay. That happens. The exceptional version of you understands that you're going to get there, right? But you show up. You're kind to people in, out, and on the fence of your business. You are kind to people that want nothing to do with plexus. And here's what I say. When I have people who are maybe a little bit, what's the word, uneducated as to what it is I do, bless their cute little hearts, they just think it's a cute little side gig, and I say, oh, you're so sweet, it's actually kind of awesome and big. But here's the thing is, when people act that way to me, or when I meet someone for the first time and say, oh, is it one of those things? I just smile and wink, right? And I say, you'll find out that I'm the real deal. I'm not going to shove it down your throat in the first 3 minutes of meeting because that's not genuine. Let's be friends. Let's connect on Facebook if it's someone that I don't know. I hand my phone to them and say, oh my gosh, I love you. We need to connect on Facebook. Put your name in here, right? Let's be friends on Facebook. I connect with new people all the time that way, and I screenshot it so I don't forget what their name was. And then we connect, right? But when people act that way to me, I usually just inside just smile. You're gonna find out that I'm for reals, right? With time and time again of me showing up as that exceptional version of myself. And when you don't, it's okay. We all make mistakes. We all show up in a way that doesn't work sometimes, and that's okay, right? So I want to talk about that for just a minute, is looking at people. So how many of you have ever experienced when someone looks at you with dollar signs in their eyes? Like when someone sends a message and you're like, ooh, that felt like so ingenuine, right? And it felt like they wanted to like cash me in. Like, have you guys experienced that before? I totally have, and it doesn't feel good, right? When you feel like someone's only reaching out to you because they want to cash in on you, right? Now, here's the deal. We love people and we show up to improve people's lives. If you feel like you have treated people that way, I do not want you to go down and shame yourself, okay? In the beginning of my business, bless my heart, I had that vision, but I didn't know exactly how to do that. I didn't know how to show up as that exceptional version of myself. So there were probably times where I may have put that vibe off to people. If you have too, it's okay, right? You're gonna kill it with consistency. So maybe you had one experience where you treated someone like that. Give yourself compassion. We all make mistakes, all of us. Emily's made mistakes, I've made mistakes, Brooks made, like all the jewels, we've all made tons of mistakes, more than you for sure, okay? So if you've made those mistakes, no shame. Take a deep breath, let that freaking go. But just make that commitment to show up, to genuinely care about people regardless of where they fall. In your business, yay. Out of your business, yay. On the line, straddling in and out of your business, yay. We treat everyone the same and we kill it with consistency. So we can just smile and wink when we meet people and they think that we're one of those people. We can just, You're gonna see that I'm the real deal because I show up over and over again in my genuine, exceptional self, striving to point my arrows out and really care about people, right? Okay, so no shame in that, but treat people genuinely like they have value. Bring value to them, and you will see it seems like, oh, Christy, will you get to the meat of this? Like, stop talking about all this fluffy stuff. You guys, you're gonna see the further you get in this business that this is everything. Being a kind person and showing up to create new connections with people and being excited about that, it's everything. It's how you continue to move forward in your business because it is a big world out there, you guys. And all we need, I just want to put this in perspective for you. All we really need, I haven't been looking at the chat. I will after I'm done. All we really get to find is a handful. Did you know that? A handful of people that take this seriously. Emily Gibson, am I right or wrong? You only need, like, you can count on one hand the amount of people to really dig in and take this seriously for you to be a diamond. You don't need everyone and their dog to do this with you. You just don't. And the sooner you let go of that energy of, I need everyone to do this with me, and if they have resistance, then I resist, let it go. When you have that quiet assurance and you're managing your energy, you're genuinely showing up to add value, guess what? You're going to attract the people that really want what you have. Because spoiler alert, you don't want everyone and their dog to do this with you. You just don't. And you don't need everyone and their dog. You need a handful. So does that like give you a little more peace when you're doing your IPA, when you're growing your network? Just be a good, nice, outward focused person. Listen more than you talk. Ask questions about people and they will share their heart with you and they will love you for it. Okay, so do those things when you feel like When you feel like you're in a rut with your IPA, get out from your computer and get out there and go meet people. Would you guys like to hear what it looks like a little bit? Like when I'm in public with people and I connect with someone, would you like to hear kind of what I say? I haven't scripted this, there's nothing written here, but I just want to give you an idea, because I know for me, I was like, I wish I could be a mouse in their pocket and just like see what's going on, right? And learn. Would that serve you guys to get like a couple of real examples of how that looks? Okay. So I rarely bring plexus up in the first meeting of someone, okay? So if I meet someone that I'm like, oh, we have to chat later. Like I've got to connect with this person because I love people and I'm a people watcher and I want to see how they do life and I want to like be part of their world. I want to watch it. I'll be like, oh my heck, I have loved connecting with you today. Like you are so cute. Are we kind of like, you just want to be like, I like you. You're my kind of person, whatever that looks like for you. And then I will say, I would love to follow your journey. Are you on Instagram or Facebook? And they'll say, oh yeah, I'm on Instagram. And I'm like, well, girl, I'm going to follow you because we got to be friends. That's all I say. And they'll be like, oh, you're so cute. Like, I want to follow you too. The truth is, I am not just following them to get them on my team. That is the truth. And they can feel it, you guys, because it goes back to that quiet assurance. There is no neediness. When you have that quiet assurance of what you know you're going to achieve, there is no needy energy there. Only taking advantage of opportunities to connect. So I'll get out my phone and I'll say, put yourself in there. I would love to follow you because you're just my kind of person. I love connecting with people like you. That is it. And then as soon as later that day, I'll send them a personal message and just say, oh my heck, you are so cute. I loved connecting with you. Have such a beautiful night. That's it. And then maybe in a couple, I'll comment on their post and get to know them a little bit. And sooner than later, they'll usually say, oh, you know, I've been watching your posts. Tell me what plexus is. And then I immediately turn it, well, tell me what interests you about plexus. Like, what are your top 3 health goals? What would you love, if you had a magic wand that you could, what's the word? Abracadabra over your health? What would you change? What 3 things would you change? And they would say, oh, well, my energy, blah, blah, blah. Oh my gosh, I've seen such great results with those 3 things. I'm going to send you this quick video. I can't wait to hear your thoughts, you guys. Every conversation with someone new that you don't know must be arrows out. You cannot send them a long, impersonal thing about plexus. You kind of have to keep it a mystery and focus on the relationship and focus on getting to know them, asking them more questions about themselves. It just has to be genuine. And can you see how when you have that quiet assurance, you have the energy of, I know the right people are going to come into my space. You're kind of just interviewing people to see if they're that person. You're not forcing it and saying, oh, you should sign up, or oh, this incentive, oh. No, you have to like exercise a lot of restraint and just ask about them and truly get to know them. Okay, let's see. So that's really all I have to share. I think that's all. Oh, one more thing. I want to debunk something really quick. Okay, into the bank account must be, okay, I'm going to look at this. Bibbidi bobbidi boo, yes. Showing up with consistency. It's, again, you're winking at it and saying, I may not break records with my time, but I will kill it with consistency because I'm committed to be the best version of myself as much as I possibly can, right? And when I'm not, I start again. Okay, so yes, you're re-signing people that have quit. As you are that consistent, it's like the train, the freight train that moves forward. You are the train. I am not your train. Emily is not your train. You are the leader. You have your quiet assurance. It's that train, that freight train moving forward. People jump on the train. Oh, I'm going to do this with you. It's going to be awesome. And then guess what? 45 days later, they jump off the train. Okay, you cannot keep moving. You can't stop moving forward, right? You keep moving forward. You be the steady. You be the consistent. People jump on, they jump off, they jump on, they're off, they're on, they're off, they're on, and then they're off. It's okay, guys. That's part of the journey to diamond. Don't be surprised when people jump on and then they jump off. You must be the constant, and you must keep that quiet assurance as like the motor in your locomotive. I know I'm going to get where I'm going because I'm on the track and I'm moving, right? People jumping on and off doesn't change that you're on the track and you're moving forward. You just got to keep moving forward, be genuine, be consistent. One more thing, and then I'll turn it over to Em. So I have fallen into the trap before of, and it is related because it's about your focus on growing new relationships and just providing great value. How many of you have fallen into the trap of looking at what's happening and looking at the lack? You're like, oh, I haven't signed up enough people. I haven't like posted enough. I don't have enough likes. I don't have enough comments. I don't get enough engagement. How many of you have felt that before? How many of you allow that to affect the amount that you're put out? Because you're like, oh, I didn't get enough likes on that. I'm not going to post again. Or, oh, people didn't like that, so I didn't get comments on that, so I'm not going to do that again. I've totally fallen into that. And this is something that's really near and dear to my heart because social media posting is still something I work on. It's not something that comes natural. That's not like my gift, right? I love it to post and share light. But when you do this and you're intentionally working your business, this is part of IPA, is good posts. I want to shift your mindset on this. So you do a post. It's a plexus post. Right off the bat, you're going to get less engagement just because that's how it is, right? When you get 15 likes or when you get 2 likes on a post and 1 comment, it's really easy to go, oh, that didn't work. And kind of go, I'm not going to do that again, right? That felt vulnerable. I put myself out there and I didn't get the response that I was hoping for. I'm going to shift your mindset. You got 2 likes. Even if it's your upline, I don't care. We are going to get into the practice of stoking the flame of what's going right. So when you're building new relationships, you're doing your IPA, you're posting consistently, and I'm telling myself this because I get to work on it all the time. You're doing those things. When you get 2 likes, I want to challenge you to message that person, even if it's your upline and your sideline. I don't care. It's about the energy. You message the people that liked your post, and you say, thank you so much for engaging on my post. Send it to your upline. I don't care. You are creating the energy of the opposite of scarcity and lack is abundance. So you're going to create that energy. When you do your plexus post and you have less engagement, or you do a personal post and you have less comments, I want you to message every single person that commented or liked your post and just say, thank you so much for engaging on my post. Your relationship is valuable to me, period. Can you imagine? Let's just say you message someone because they liked your plexus post and they have been on the fence about plexus for 2 years or whatever. Can you imagine if they got a message from you, or better yet, like a quick video message on Messenger that's 5 seconds. Thank you so much for engaging on my post. Your relationship is valuable to me. Have such a beautiful day. What will that do for building and strengthening relationships? Guys, can you imagine? Okay, so don't take for granted that opportunity to stoke the flame of what's going right. So shift your focus from, oh, I didn't get a lot of engagement on that post, or oh, I don't have enough new people. Bull crap. I want you to pour gasoline on the fire of what's going right, even if it's 1 like, 2 likes, 1 comment, 1 new person. Get good at the art of pouring into what's going right. I promise you this skill will increase your IPA effectiveness. It will naturally start to help you grow your network more, and your business, if you get into this practice of stoking the flame of what's going right and pouring your energy, focus, time, emotions, everything into what's going right, only good things come back to you. I promise you. Who's committed to stoke the flame of what's going right and be genuine? Raise your hand. Woo! Okay. Thank you. That's all I have, guys. Love you, Emily. Ready, baby?
Hello, I'm ready. Okay, Jamie just got to my house. She's been listening on her phone, but we're doing some stuff here later. So anyway, you're going to see Jamie in my window here. Okay, so how do you effectively improve your IPA? There's only one answer to this, and the word is action. That's it. That's all it takes is action, action, action. And your lack thereof is actually holding you back from what you really want. So I just can't drive this home enough. One of the things that I have consistently done from the very beginning was I've dug in to my business every single day that I have not been like, sometimes I take a week off, or we go to Maui, I don't do anything for my work there. When we went to the islands, I don't do there. I have time where I don't work. I don't want anyone to think I'm working 7 days a week all the time. I did in the beginning, but not anymore. But the thing that I want to drive home is that every normal day where I can show up, which is more often than not, I dig into my business. What does that look like? Well, it all starts with a list. I have a list of people that I am every single month focusing on, either building relationships with them or in active conversations about the products or the business. And if I don't have my list, I am lost. In fact, my trusty book here got lost in the move. And in the month of April, I think it was April, May, I think it was April. It was either April or May when we were moving and I lost this book. I only signed up one person. That has only happened to me one other time, and it was December of last year. You guys, it's because if you don't have a plan, you're planning to fail, whether you're a diamond ambassador or a brand new ambassador. If you don't have a list, how can you possibly know what you're doing when you sit down to work for your personal business? There's no way. You cannot do what you need to do if you do not have a list of people that you are actively, intentionally working with. So who goes, this is what I call my hot 20 list. If you're new to our team, maybe you haven't heard that team before, but I constantly try to build a list of 20 each month. Sometimes I only get 6. Sometimes I have 16. Sometimes I have 9. When I get to 20, I get really excited because I know that I have 20 people that I am excited about working with, either as a brand new friend or products or business. So every single month I make a brand new list. Some of these people I roll over from the previous months, but I never let a month go by without adding new people to my list. So anytime that I make a new friend, whether I friend them on Facebook or somewhere else, maybe they're not on Facebook, maybe they're on Instagram, maybe they are just a friend that I haven't even moved to social media yet, their name goes on my list because I'm excited about them. If you're not someone that likes to make friends like I do, this will be outside of your comfort zone. You can still do it. It just might not be as like giddy as I get about it. That's fine. Just write their name down. If you met a new person at the grocery store and you don't know their name, write lady at the grocery store. Because I guarantee you're probably going to run into her again. People are creatures of habit. If you go to the grocery store on the same day every week, I guarantee lady at the grocery store does too. So, just remember that you have to add new people to your list or you're not going to be being intentional about it. And if you're not intentional about your work, then this is just a hobby for you. And I do not believe that you are sitting on a call in the middle of a Tuesday for a hobby. I really believe that you're showing up to this call because you want this to be more than a hobby for you. So that means you're going to have to change the way your actions show up in your life. And there's nothing that Christy and I can say to motivate you to change those actions. It has to come from deep within here. What Christy was talking about that visualization, that place in your heart where you feel that everything has to change, will change, is going to change. Okay, so you have your list. I just want you to every single month, the first day of the month, whether, I don't care if it's first Monday, if you don't want to work on Sunday or whatever that is, but the first day of the month, I want you to write out the month and the year. June, July, I came home and did a brand new list after convention because I was so excited. So I wrote June, July 2019 on my list. And I already have another June list that I'm working on, but I just felt like I needed to put June up there because we still have a week left and I'm OCD. So, so I write every single month. You're going to write the new month and the year. And I want you to really spend 10 to 15 minutes putting your new list together for the month. It's basically like writing your goals down. This for me has become a ritual of every single new month practices. And what I love most about it is a lot of times we push really hard at the end of the month, and the first week of the month has this little like fallout where we kind of like, oh my gosh, okay, we're resting. And in that rest time, what I've taught myself to do is make a new list to get excited about, because that's going to get me ramped up sooner than if I just wait till the end of the month again. And B, it sets my intentions from the very beginning. And then because you have a little bit more extra time in the beginning of the month than at the end of the month, it's where I refocus my desire to connect with people. So like Christy was saying, we are making friendships with people, not to make a dollar, but to make new friendships. And the longer I do this business, the more I appreciate the time before they hear me talk about plexus with them. Because I feel like I get to like live my pre-plexus life where nobody knew me as Plexus Emily. And it's just this like romance period where I'm like, oh my gosh, they don't know who I am. They don't know anything about me. They just like want to get to know me for who I am, not who I've become or whatever that looks like to you, right? And so I really, truly appreciate time where I don't have plexus brought into it yet. It's just like you're dating the new boyfriend. It's so nice. I love it. So just love that space with people and get to know them as a friend first and foremost, just like Christy went into so much detail about. Okay, so I write their name down. If I have found them as a friend through Instagram, I also in parentheses write their handle next to their name. Even if I know them well, like if I know them in real life, I will still write their handle down because I was forgetting who I was talking to in Instagram and who I was talking to in Facebook. And so, so I just put that note there for myself to remind me where to go back to. So, if that's helpful to you. Okay. And what I really want to do right now is I would love to open up for questions on ask me what I do in my IPA, ask Christy what she does. If you have a question like I'm doing this and I'm not seeing results, I really want to hear from you all to direct the next 5 or 10 minutes. Michelle says, are you using dough? So I was using dough before dough was a thing in a handwritten book, right? So yes, I use dough every single day. And I hope you do too, because once you have the practice of it, you will be signaling it, not it signaling you. And that's really the turn that I want everyone to see. Sort of like when someone starts a new, going to the gym and they're like, oh my gosh, I have to go to the gym. This is just so hard for me to create this new habit of going to the gym every single day. And then one day a shift sort of happens after you've gone to the gym for so many days in a row, months and months on end. All of a sudden you can't go to the gym one day and you're like, I have to rearrange everything because I love going to the gym or I love running or whatever it is. You'll see this shift in your habit because you have changed. So I want your IPA to become that for you. I literally start to feel uncomfortable if I haven't done IPA 3-4 times in my week. Now, does that mean I'm sitting down for an hour at a time? No, but I send messages every single week, no matter what. It's just part of my practice. It's part of what I do. And if I'm not doing it, I feel off-centered. It's like drinking water. It's like going to bed, washing my face, brushing my teeth. I start to get nervous if I'm not sending IPA messages because it's just part of my practice, and you can make it part of your practice too. Okay, so Julie says, you talk about Instagram. She only uses Facebook. Do you suggest other platforms? I used Facebook for as long as Facebook gave me what I was looking for in my business. Now for me, Facebook has turned into a place where I really connect with people who are at work with me and my close family. That is where I tend to be for that. But for my business and recruiting, Instagram is 99.9% of where I do my recruiting now. That doesn't mean that it needs to be where you do your recruiting, because you probably still have your warm market in Facebook. And my business does not work without Facebook. I might be meeting new people on Instagram, but I have to get them into Facebook to do my challenges. Because with strangers and with people that I know, the best tool that I have personally found, this might not be your best tool, but my best tool that I have personally found is create interest on Instagram, move them into a 3-day or a 5-day or an event. I prefer the 3-day and 5-day events on Facebook to give me third-party validation, social proof, and 3 or 4 days to kind of accelerate where they accelerate them to getting on board and buying into it. So to me, that is the system that is working for me right now. When it no longer works, I will find something else that will move the needle for me. But right now, that's what I'm finding so helpful. So if you are someone that's still recruiting really well and you have a great system on Facebook, I would just lean into what's working for you right now and don't worry about what everybody else is doing or what I'm doing. Just lean into what's working for you. Because I have a lot of people who, like Jamie, for example, Facebook groups and meeting new people in Facebook groups is her jam. I want to curl up into a fetal position ball and die at the thought of it. But that doesn't mean, like, Jamie's recruiting more people a month than I am doing what she's doing. But my space that I love and lean into and move the needle the most for me is Instagram. For Jamie, it's Facebook groups. And really, all Instagram is, everyone's Instagram page is a Facebook group. It's their own personal Facebook group with their own personal community, and it varies. The group members are who are following them per se. So just know, like, it doesn't matter what the name of the platform is. It's social media, right? And wherever you are finding people to engage with you, to improve your relationships, that's where you should be, and that's where you should be recruiting. So don't get hung up on the name of which site is working for me or you or Jamie or Christy. Just go to the site where you're finding people and where you are most excited to engage with people. Okay. Do I cold message? Yes, all the time I cold message. My best advice to you about cold messaging is not overthink it. Do it impulsively. If someone comes to your mind like, oh, I need to message that girl, I want you to pull over on the side of the road and message that girl. I want you to literally leave the road you're driving on, go into a parking lot and message that girl. And then put your phone away and get going where you were going. Because the less that you overthink it, the better it's going to go. The more real you make it, the more authentic it's going to be. So what do my cold messages look like? Well, the best thing is I usually forget that I've done it because I do it without thinking about it. So there was one girl that I met her back in December, and I want her to do the business so badly with me, and she needs the money and she would love the community. She's working so hard as an Instagram influencer to make no money. And it's so frustrating for me to watch her struggle. And she wrote something to me on one of my posts on my Instagram feed last week while we were at convention. And I just messaged her on the spot. And I was like, seriously, I want you to do this with me so badly because you would love the community and you would love being on stage with me. What is holding you back? And I sent that message at like, I don't know, midnight or something. And then I went to sleep, and 3 days later she responded back and I was like, oh, I did send that. I totally forgot I sent that. And it wasn't that it wasn't meaningful. It wasn't important. It was that I'm sending things as they are streams of thoughts in my mind. And if you will adopt this practice without fear, you change fear into excitement, you change nervousness into excitement, your business will explode in a whole new way. Because if you're limiting your IPA time to an hour every morning, you're limiting your creativity. You're limiting your ability to help people who are being placed on your heart all day long. So I just want you to be a little bit more impulsive about your cold messaging, because it doesn't have to be so formal. Like a great analogy of this is, we don't have to only think about God when we're at church. Church is great, but if I only thought about God once a week at church, my life would not have spiritual influence. But I get to take him wherever I go in whatever I do. And that's how your IPA is. You get to take it wherever you go in whatever you do. And just free yourself of the box that you have put IPA into, because that's not what it has to look like. It can be fun. It can be rewarding. It can be on the fly. It can be something that's not stressful. And you can do 3 or 4 people without thinking about it in less than 5 minutes. And that can change your business in a huge way. Okay, how do you know when you're done with your IPA for that day? I feel like I get going and feel the motivation and action and I'm feeling so good. And then how do you stop? Do you have a specific number that you stop at for messages, or does it depend on what you're focusing on? If I have people to message, I don't stop until I'm done. And sometimes that means I have to call my mom to pick my kids up from preschool because I need to work, because I'm like in a conversation with 3 people that I wasn't planning on. Or I have to put a movie on for my kids when I get home from picking them up, because, oh my gosh, everyone's responding to me all at once. I feel like being flexible in this business and being able to move on the fly is the best gift that you can give yourself, because I know so many people, personalities can be rigid, and we want everything in a box, a nice, tidy, neat little box. And life is not a nice, tidy, neat little box. Right? It's full of ups and downs, and the roller coaster that Christy talks about, it's no fun to be on a straight roller coaster. We want those of us that like roller coasters, I hate them. But, but those of you that like and get the analogy of it, ups and downs is what makes the roller coaster enticing to most people. Okay. So, I'm never done with my IPA. I'm never done with my IPA. I'm just not. It's not something, it's like laundry. You never get on top of it. There's always dirty laundry to be washed. And like the mail, it never stops coming. The mail is always going to bring mail every day with marketers and credit card companies that want me to open an account with them. And the mail never stops. The laundry never stops. IPA never stops. You're never done with it. Just sort of like raising your kids. You're never done with them. They are a work in progress. It's constant. So, Christy?
Raise my hand, teacher. But one thing I think for some of like my personalities, I feel like I want to like check it and say, okay, I did it, right? So it's kind of that, it goes back to the quiet assurance. When you know that you're consistently showing up and you trust yourself that you're going to keep that promise to yourself every day, you can take the action and then be open, like Emily's saying, if something comes up, you can be open, but you don't feel like you have to always do it every day. You know that you're going to keep chipping away every day, and you're going to keep that promise to yourself. And just like laundry, it doesn't go away, but doing baby steps every day is better than thinking I have to do it all day, every day, and then you burn yourself out, right?
Yes.
So if you have to, like come up with a metric. There's tons of different kinds. Like the 10, 5, 3, 2, 1 is the one that we do, because it's doable. 10 minutes of personal development or a podcast or a diamond dot, something that feeds you. 5 new reach outs, 3 follow-ups with prospects, 2 follow-ups with current ambassadors or customers, and 1 post. If that helps you stay on a consistent regimen, then great. Everybody's a little bit different with this. But I think the bottom line is,
will you type that up into the chat there so that people can copy and paste it?
Yeah, and it's from Sarah Robbins, who's like a 7th earner.
Yeah, she's so amazing. Yeah. So one of the things when I first started, that was before we knew about the system that Christy just said, is I would try to do between 3 and 5 a day. And what I always surpassed that. I was like, that's it, just 5. I can think of 15 people that need this. And I would never be like, oh, I did 15. I'm good for 3 days. I'd be like, oh, I did 15. Tomorrow, going to come up with 3 more.
And one more thing I wanted to add, sorry, before I be quiet the rest of the time. So I think you kind of got to trust your gut on this. If you have big goals and you want to move the needle in a big way, you need to send more messages. To be really transparent with you guys, I do big cold messaging blitzes. Emily does a little bit every day. For me, what works is I sit down and I go crazy, like 100 or 200, like I'm serious. If I want to create a lot of new interaction, then my intuition says, well, the numbers game would work in my favor if I would send more, right? So consistently doing a little bit every day, but then if you want to create a big, like I enrolled 10 people last month, I sent a lot of cold messages. So you kind of have to just use your noggin and say, okay, if I want more results, then why don't I up my game with my cold messages and continue to brush my teeth, like Emily said. But like sometimes there'll be seasons where you send a lot more and it's kind of exciting. When you start sending them, you're like, this is not scary. Oh my gosh. And then you're like, this is awesome. I love plexus. It's just like Emily said, it's that action of getting going. Then you're like, oh my gosh, I can do this. So you kind of have to find your groove. But the non-negotiable is being consistent with just a little bit every day. You've got to do that. Okay, I'll be quiet.
Oh no, you're fine. I love your insights. It's making it so much better. So Jennifer says IPA messages are not just plexus messages. They include friendship messages too, right? And my answer to that is yes, as long as you have an end goal in sight. So for example, if you just relationship build for a year with every single person on your Hot 20 list, you're probably not going to have very many enrollments. And so I would say that relationship build and share your life with them, your whole life with them in that process. And very naturally, your gut is going to tell you when to bring up plexus, and don't hold that off. Like, just go ahead and do it at that point. I have not used Twitter. I created a Twitter handle like 4 years ago, forgot the password, and I can't hack into it. And I've tried like so much, and now I just don't care anymore. So no, I'm not using Twitter, and I'm never probably going to use Twitter, because even when I try to go and do a new one, they won't let me. It's like a jail cell trying to get your stuff back from Twitter. So I'm not. Sorry.
I think it's hard to keep track of where your posts go in Twitter.
Oh.
I don't think it's a very good way to follow up, because it's not like your own page, like you're saying in Instagram and Facebook. It's like they roam and float, and they can share your posts. But if someone sees your post, you don't know that they're seeing it. So there's no way to do any follow-up or know who's following you.
If it's working for you, lean into it. But yes. Okay. Christy, is it working for you?
Yes, it's working for me. I have one more thing to
do
share.
it.
It's working for Christy.
No, I don't need Twitter.
We're talking about Twitter. We're talking about Twitter. I'm like, I am shocked. I'm like,
Are you kidding me? I can't.
But okay.
No.
Okay. So I'm not using Twitter.
We talked about before.
We might be having a series like this next month. We'll see. Are all of my cold messages about plexus? Yes. They're either about plexus or the business when I'm sending a true cold message. Well, I mean, that's not necessarily when I'm relationship building. When I think of a cold message, I'm thinking about like, I'm trying to get some sort of a result monetarily with a cold message. When I am like relationship building, like I'll just randomly message someone that I think is really great and be like, oh my gosh, I saw your comment on so-and-so's thing. We need to be friends. And I'm relationship building with them. And then a cold message to me is me bringing up plexus before they do. That's what a cold message is. Me bringing up plexus before they come to me. Okay. Any other questions about that? I cannot drive home the importance of consistency here. And if you are not making deposits into the IPA bank account, how can you ever assume that you're going to be able to make a withdrawal? You can't. And if you are like, oh my gosh, first of all, you do want the CBD oil. It's amazing. It's incredible. Best 3 days of my life. The last 3 days I've been using it. And seriously, like, do whatever you need to do to get a bottle. Do whatever you need to do to get a bottle. You need 3 people. 3 people. So my goal is to get between 6 and 9 because I want more bottles. I'm like, when is this stuff coming out? They're not even telling us. How am I going to, like, I need to get as many bottles as possible and hoard because I need to make it last. I don't want to go without it. And they only gave us a 2-week supply. I mean, so grateful that they were so generous in giving us a 2-week supply. And I'm like, oh, how are we going to make it to the fall? Got to ration my CBD. So I'm going to try and earn as many bottles as possible so that I can have it, so that my husband can have it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I really want you to buckle down this week. You can do more in a week than you can messing around saying you want to do more in a whole month. So if you're like, oh my gosh, my team is like, they're just like not adding this month. I'll get to it in July. No, get to it now. Do it now. We've got till Sunday. So you need 3 people by Sunday, 6 people by Sunday, 9 people by Sunday. Don't tell me you can't do that because I've seen you do it before, especially last August. Holy crap. The last 2 weeks of August, you guys, like our team is crazy. You can do more in a week than you can in a month. Christy.
Okay. So just one more thing. We talked a little bit before the call about just be creative. And like I said in the chat, this isn't about, like, don't overthink it. Like, this isn't about being the master of one social media platform. It isn't about being perfect. It's not black and white. This is about connections, okay? Growing your network is about connections. IPA is about connections. Create connections, whether that's Facebook groups. Maybe that's your thing. You got to be creative and find your thing. But you must be a freight train, like committed to move forward and create more connections. So with IPA, you're going to refresh connections, right? You're going to follow up. You're going to create new connections. You're going to meet new people face to face. Whether you can get to know people through Facebook groups with, interests that are outside of plexus. You find a couple of things like hiking. I have a couple of groups I'm in that are hiking groups. You will build relationships in those groups. It's about connection. So I want to bring it all together and just have you take a deep breath. We're giving you ideas. But keep it simple. Find a way to connect with people. You make more new connections. You keep connections going with follow-up. You will make this work. That's the bottom line. And it's like you're a freight train. You moving forward. You're committed. You're creating those connections. And that's what we do. And we add value to people and just keep it simple. So don't overcomplicate it. Don't allow yourself to get overwhelmed. Being overwhelmed is a choice. Don't do that. That's a victim mode. You're not overwhelmed. You need to take a deep breath and just create connections, right? And whatever means and whatever medium works for you, just keep creating connections.
Okay, thanks for being with us here today, guys. We love you.
Love you all.
We love you. We love you.
Bye. Louis says bye.